Panels work a great deal in Photoshop as their properties and commands add more features to what we do in Photoshop. Our working document is being beautified and made more good and accurate with panels. Now, a lot of things are being done in panels, but in subsequent videos we're going to be looking at that. In this video we're going to look at how we can arrange our panels. We're going to talk about panels and the workspace selector, and just like how you can dock and undock your document from here that we saw in our last video, we're going to talk about how to move our panels around the workspace. Okay, so here we have a color panel. Now you can decide to move this away from where it is being docked. Okay, so now to do that, you click and drag it out of its current position. Now it becomes a panel of its own. You can expand it, you can contract it, you can collapse it like this. Now to move it back to its current position, you simply drag it back to that area, and when you see that blue outline around that particular area, you leave it and it docks back to its initial position. Okay, now you can decide to rearrange your panels by dragging and dropping panels in other areas of panels. Now we have, or panel groups rather, now we have 3 panels per group, 3 panels on the second row and 2 panels right here. And as you can see, if you go to your window menu, you discover that we only have 3 panels checked on this group here. From actions to 2 presets, we only have 3 panels that are checked. That is to say that right here we have 3 panels that are currently visible. Okay, now the options bar is always visible, that is why it's always checked, and the tools panel is always visible, that's why it's always checked. Okay, now the untitled 1 and untitled 2, you see there are our currently working documents, the documents we are working on currently. Okay, so we have color, history and layers, which are the 3 panels that we are looking at currently. We have color here, we have history here, and we have layer here. Now that is to say, if you happen to click on another panel and make it visible, you discover that that particular panel becomes active, and if you check, it becomes the panel with the check mark close to it. Okay, so any active panel here becomes checked in our Windows menu, just like we've seen. And like I said, you can rearrange your panels by dragging and dropping them in respective areas or group of layers. Okay, so group of panels. So here we can decide to say we want to add another panel called we want to add parts. Now let's add part, and when we click on part, you discover that the parts panel comes out, and let's dock it to the layers group right here. And like I said, when you see the blue outline around it, you release it and it docks to that particular area. Now under here we have 3 panels, just like the other 2 at the top, and you can navigate between the 3 of them. Okay, now close to each panel at the far right of each panel, you see a small arrow. It's called the panel menu. Okay, it holds the menu for any selected panel. Okay, and it differs with panels. Okay, the menu you see for the styles panel is always different from the menu you see on the colors panel. So it differs with selected panel and it works with a selected panel. So the history panel, when you check on this menu, is to see a different thing from what you see from the properties menu. Okay, now you can decide to create more workspace by collapsing the panels to icons simply by clicking on the arrow close at the far right. Now when you do that, you collapse the panels to icon, and when you click on the arrow again, you expand the panel. Okay, now it's as simple as that. Now this right here is called tiles. These are called tiles. Now you collapse the panels to tiles. Now to collapse it to icon, you need to drag like this until it collapses completely to icon. Now we have icons, and here we have tiles, and when you open with the arrow, you have what we call the panels have been displayed appropriately for you to see what is inside. Okay, so that is how it works. The far arrow at the right there, so it collapsed to tiles, and as you drag, it collapsed to icons. Now mind you, right here we have two different panels of icons here. Well, that is how I said mine. You can decide to do yours in a different way. Now if you don't want this particular area, you can decide to remove it completely. That's docking it out, and you can decide to dock it back, just like we did for the tools panel. Now when you see that blue outline, you release your mouse and it's been docked back to its initial position. Now let's quickly look at how to open and close a panel. Now to do that, we quickly let me quickly drag this. Now to close a panel, you simply right click on the panel, and the first thing you see is close. Okay, now if you want to close the panel group, now the swatches, styles, and color are in one particular group, so the whole of the top group here is called a panel group. So now if you want to close a particular panel group, just right click on the panel name, and the second option there says close panel group. Now when you do that, you discover that the panel group, it will be closed automatically, and now we have two groups of panel instead of three. Now mind you that things like this you cannot undo with the Ctrl+Z command. We're going to talk about that in subsequent videos, unless you come back and make your panels visible by checking them from the window menu. Okay, now our panel is visible. Now another way you can close a panel is to go to the panel menu, the little triangle facing down with the straight horizontal lines looking like a bunch of lines there. So now when you click on the menu, you see close at the last area, second to last command there says close. Now when you click on that, you see the panel closes, and when you click on close tab group, it does the exact thing that we saw some minutes back. Okay, so now that is how to dock a panel, undock a panel, close and close a panel group. Now that also works with the tools option bar. You can undock it and you can dock it back to its initial position when you see the blue outline being displayed on that particular area. Same thing works for the tools panel, and you can do that. It works with all the panels in Photoshop, and that is another great feature of Photoshop, as it allows you to arrange your panels in a way that is much more easy and understandable by the designer. Okay, so in our next video we're going to look at how to arrange panels in different ways, and we're going to look at the workspace selector and see how it works with regards to panels and our workspace. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.